Hi Chris, great to see you again the other day. Just to recap on the session that we did, the big problem is your ball position and how that relates to the angle of your shaft setup. Your ball tends to be forward in your stance with driver and also appears to have the hands back. So you've got a situation where the ball is forward and the hands are back, the shaft leaning away from your target. What that now means is that at setup, even though your club face appears to be square to your target line, we can see here on the top left that it is actually pointing to the left. The ball's too far forward in the circle that we traced and that we put down and illustrated with the clubs on the mat, and that's the path that your swing is going to take. So you can see there that the ball's forward in that circle. The club face consequently points to the left of your intended target line. Even if it was pointing at your target, you'd have a situation where your golf ball would now start straight and if released turn too far to the left. If we look at how that affects your downswing, if we look at it from down the line, what's going to happen is you're going to work the club quickly to the left on the way through, so the club doesn't work out in front of you enough on the way through. That imparts left to right spin on the golf ball, so you can hang it out to the right. The other problem you also have is that in an attempt to get the ball starting up the right to hit the draw that you want to hit, because of the setup position we see there on the top left, what we tend to do is we tend to hang on to it a little bit, we drop on the inside, and as we hang back we bottom out slightly behind the golf ball. The problem is whenever you hang back on your right side, you've now got a problem, now you're stuck. If you hang back too much, the club passes your body, the rate of closure on the club face increases and you're going to snap hook the ball to the left. If you hang back and then work the club to the left, as we saw with the swing from down the line, you're going to push it out or push cut it up the right hand side. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to use that circle or that grid that we used on the top left hand footage to try and control where the golf ball starts. If we take a look there at Charlie Wee on the top right, here's a guy who's trying to hit, if you will, a big draw. He's got the ball back, the hands forward. You can see there the contrast between his setup and yours. You can see his club face is pointing to the right of the target slightly. That means his ball's going to start to the right. He can then carry on driving through, keeping the club out in front of him on the through swing. That's going to get the ball drawing back, as with the football analogy that we used during your lesson. So what we're trying to say here, Chris, is if you want to hit the ball up the right and draw it, i.e. you can bail out up the right. We use the first hole at Penwortham as an example. If we just move the ball back slightly in the stance, that in turn means that the club face now is pointing slightly more to the right than it would normally be, which means the ball is going to start up the right hand side. And as you saw in your lessons, the shot that you then hit up the right was a well struck shot directed up the right hand side of a hole. You're going to take control of where that golf ball starts its trip. So if you move the ball back whilst rotating the club, so you move it round in that circle, that's going to keep the ball started up the right hand side of the hole. If you inch it forward in the circle, as with the blue line in your original setup, that's going to start it up the left. So I'm not saying that your setup's wrong. What we're saying is that it's not appropriate to hit a draw from where you currently are. From the setup position that you currently have, that would be fine if you're going to start the ball down the left. Say for instance on the 7th at Penwortham, hit that nice little power fade round the corner. If you want to hit it up the right hand side, you want to keep it up the right as per the 8th tee shot or the first tee shot, you would need to move your ball and set up more in the position like you see Charlie Wee just above you from face on. So good luck with it. A little bit of work needed, but overall your swing's coming on a treat. Good powerful positions throughout. Best of luck. If you need to speak any further, just give me a buzz.